Good morning, Zio here. And today, I know it's been a hot minute. I said I was going to do this, but it's taken me a little while to get to it, right? I'm going to talk about my thoughts about the whole Blizzard thing, right? Where I currently stand, which of course has also changed since I last said that. Uh, but yeah, go ahead and grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? And we're back to the full face because there's not really a whole lot to show off, right? Now, I don't have anything to really bring up. I mean, I can, but that's for a different video anyway. We move over to it, we can see what I actually do have brought up right now. It's Activision Blizzard hires union busting firm as workers start to come together, which we will probably talk about tomorrow. But for today, we're not going to, right? We're going to be talking about World of Warcraft, among other things. Yeah, I just wanted to, make it, I guess, abundantly clear where I stand with a lot of this stuff. I'm not sure exactly whose box this one is because this one is not mine. Mine, I'm not sure where mine has gone to. It might have been lost to time. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of my friends who I got into it because we were all over at my place installing things for them, getting them all set up after I had it on a laptop, a really bad laptop that I brought over and was like, dude, you've got to see this. It's like Diablo 2 but on steroids. And yeah, that's where we are. I'm a huge Blizzard fan, right? I own all the things, the StarCrafts, the Diablos, all the way back from the original. I even bought the battle chests versions of these, even though I didn't need them. I still bought them, right? I've got all the way back to the original Warcraft disc here, and you can see other things behind me. You've got Illidan back here standing up. You've got a Necromancer just randomly over there. You've got the Diablo and other expansion things. I've got like the Cataclysm battle chest somewhere. I don't know where it is. Battle chest, the collector's edition. I'm sorry, somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I'm almost out of coffee. Pretty sure it's probably somewhere in the basement of my parents, somewhere. But yeah, this what has happened with Blizzard has split the entire community. Like, not just split it, I mean it shattered it. It's in a million pieces. You've got content creators whose entire thing was Blizzard, or Blizzard games, or just World of Warcraft in general, and they're not doing it anymore. They've decided to not do it, and I don't blame them. um the allegations hit, the lawsuit hit, and in my opinion, there's good portions of that lawsuit that is probably the unpopular opinion of the day, grossly exaggerated, right? I mean, I said it when I was first reading through it that this seems to be too much to be a real thing. um but at the same time, some of this stuff did happen. It may not have happened as bad as the lawsuit makes it out to be, but things have happened. Blizzard employees get paid under the industry standard, and because the reason because of that, essentially, we've always been told was it's because you're putting Blizzard here on your resume, right? You're putting World of Warcraft on your resume. You're putting Diablo on your resume. And that was always their reason, right? Um, and we heard about it. We've heard about it. We've talked about it. We've said things about it, and for the most part, people just kept going. Nobody really cared. And yeah, but things over the years have changed, right? Blizzard is not the fledgling company that it was way back in the day. It's not this tiny developer who was making an RTS in a franchise that nobody's ever heard of before, that then spawns multiple other franchisees, multiple other things like Diablo or the StarCraft universe. Blizzard is not that tiny group anymore, right? Blizzard is, a company, a large company, a company that Activision came in with to, into some kind of merger or whatnot back in the Wrath of the Lich King days, near the end of that, somewhere in between, in the middle of that expansion. And ever since then, the quality of anything we've gotten from Blizzard has been a downgrade, right? It's not Burning Crusade anymore. It's not the Wrath of the Lich King, the pinnacle of World of Warcraft. It's Warlords of Draenor, right? It's Battle for Azeroth. It's what we currently have. And when it comes to WoW, it's World of Warcraft 3 Reforged. Because Activision expects things at a certain thing, regardless of what you are doing or whatnot. And if you're not one of their multi-billion-dollar names, they don't care, right? They're not going to give you the budget you need to actually finish the thing. The devs may still want to do the thing. They may want to bring it into an area that it's not at, and they're ignored. And so are the players. As of right now, my WoW subscription is not active, of course. That's not surprising with everything that's happened and stuff. I can't give Blizzard my money, of course. Not right now. However, I still generally slightly excited for Diablo 2 Remaster, even though they are censoring portions of it. Warcraft 4, Diablo 4 is still a thing on my radar. And I expect people to still wind up, buying it. It's still going to do well, right? These franchises, these names are still going to sell well, regardless of what's currently going on. Of course, this stuff is probably going to die down. Some of the well-known names or whatnot in the space will probably continue to not do, and it's not going to bring in new players, of course. But there are people out there who they're not going to hear about this. It's hard to differentiate certain groups of people because you've got the gamer, right, and you expect the gamer to know everything that you know, but they don't, right? Because not everybody's on social media. I knew Twitter was a thing, but for the longest time, I never really properly used Twitter that much. I may have had a thing, maybe had an account, but I didn't really use it. I was mostly on YouTube. And then, of course, there was Facebook, and I would be on Facebook and stuff, but I don't know properly how to use all of Facebook either. I still don't. It's just how that goes. But there are people out there who are not on these things. They may be watching YouTube, but they may not actively be watching Warcraft stuff or gaming stuff. They may be watching other things. To them, it's just a game, and they're waiting for the next expansion. They're waiting for the next release. And I'm not going to, yell at them if they go and purchase it or anything like that, and there's a good chance they will. There are people out there who still have their subscription active. There are people who are effectively sublocked who want to leave, who don't want to give them their money, but because they fell into the trap that I'm pretty sure I've mentioned and other people have mentioned, the 6-month subscribe model, where you get a free mount, was designed to do a thing, and they fell for it. They did it, right? They fell hook, line, and sinker for it, and so they've already got their money for it. They can't do anything about that, even if they wanted to. So I'm not going to fault them for that, of course, or anything else like that. Of course, with all this other stuff, especially the harassment and things, it sounds like that a lot of that really, really was a thing that was happening in the company itself that the company knew about and didn't do anything, right? We speculated about the 800 being purged from Blizzard and Activision, the 900, whatever it was. You know, they had one of their best years to date, and they purged so many jobs, and we were furious about it, right? Myself included. It's like, why would you do that? What purpose could that have served? And it turns out that, well, because of this particular culture that was sort of ingrained into the company that you love so much, they just did a scorched earth purge. A two-pronged kind of thing, because not only did it remove people that they feel like they may have been paying too much or whatnot, even though they don't pay that much to begin with compared to the rest of the industry, they were then able to, a few months later, rehire people into those positions at a much lower spot, right? They could purge the dissidents, they could purge the people who are acting inappropriately and things. They can also, of course, purge the people who were talking about it, and you know, in the company, who are whispering things, going, you know, you should be watching out for Alex, you know, that sort of thing, as well as purging a bunch of things that may actually have been completely redundant and not necessary under the guise of just restructuring or whatnot, or I think their thing was they were all redundant things, but the problem is they don't have enough when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to the support side of things, as it is, you know, to the fact that that's been a talking point among players and things. You know, GMs just don't exist when you need them to. They act on things they shouldn't be acting on. They're too slow in other areas and all this other stuff, because they got rid of all that support, of course, and things, and over the years. And yeah, that's kind of where we stand right now, right? Blizzard just has done one bad thing after another, after another, after another, and then this lawsuit hits, because the allegations are not new. We've seen them in the past, but at the same time, some of the stuff in the lawsuit seems, as much as I don't want to say Blizzard's right, when it comes to it, but a lot of it is over exaggerated. You know, we just talked about the infamous Cosby suite, right? And you know, it seems like that really was something that was over embellished. It was said in a way to make you think a certain thing, and there are people who legitimately think that's exactly what it is. You know, it was named that because alleged rapist Bill Cosby. I don't know why. I don't even know what words I can and can't say. It doesn't matter at this point. You know, it was named after him because of that. But when you start thinking of the timeline of events, you know, the year that this was a thing, the year it was an in-joke, the years of which when social media actually became more prominent and things, and the fact that that entire case was kind of dormant in between the years of social media coming into existence until about a year or so after the Cosby suite was a joke, an in joke in the company there for that BlizzCon. It really makes it really, really hard to believe that they named it because of alleged rapist Bill Cosby or anything else like that. They actually did it because of a color scheme of something that reminded them of Bill Cosby sweaters or whatnot. That holds a lot of water, in my opinion, just based on the dates and looking about when that stuff became a legit thing, right? Where everybody knew that Bill Cosby was an alleged rapist, and versus then, because you can't sit there and take something like that. In today's standards, it's 2021. We know in hindsight that these things probably happened, and then he's been acquitted for this, for whatever it was at this point. He's you know, getting away free with it, whether it's happened or not at this point. You know, to sit there and apply that to a 2013 standard when nobody knew about it except for maybe the people in the know in the industry, which is a real thing that can happen, right? You know, the whole Weinstein thing, it was an open secret, as they say, right, in Hollywood. When did the rest of us in the world actually find out about it, though? You have to remember that Activision, Blizzard, and stuff, they're not Hollywood, right? If something happens in one industry, it doesn't mean that that other industry actually knows about it. You're trying to tell me that, you know, if say, let's see, say Blizzard has done something really, really, really bad, and they worked in concert with, or and then Sony over here. Let's say Square Enix. This is our example. Blizzard does something super, super bad, right? We'll go with Alex. This works, right? Alex has seemed to be a very bad person, right? According to things. And then over in Square Enix, Alex is known. They love his work for whatever reason, this, that, and the other, and there's something that he's done or whatnot that reminds them of Alex. So they call this thing the Alex or the Asfer Bobby or however you say his last name thing, right? And then, that happens in 2015, and it gets known as the thing, right, with his name attached to it. And wow, did my screensaver really come on? Because I haven't. It did. I'm so sorry. So there's going to be a really weird cut. My screensaver came on, everything froze. It was bad. I didn't know if I had just lost the entire 16 minutes or so I had been recording. But anyway, back to what we were going. Okay, so Alex does a thing, right? And, in 2015, say Square names this thing after his last name because it reminds them of him because, they really love his work or whatever it is. And then in 2000, let's say that all happens in 2015. And then in 2021, this lawsuit came out. And everybody then starts looking in and goes, oh my gosh, Alex. And then getting mad at Sony, then it comes out that Sony has this thing from 2015, right? Named after him, and then everybody starts busting Sony or Square Enix or whoever it is, saying, how dare you? How could you? You've named it after this guy who is an alleged really, really bad person who's being very handsy and other stuff, and you've got this thing that looks really, really bad, but in the context of things back then, no, it wasn't. It does now. And I think that's exactly where we're sitting with the Cosby thing, with the Cosby suite and stuff like that. It looks really bad now. In 2021 context, it is horrible. It is a bad look. But in the context of when it wasn't. And that is a problem with this entire lawsuit that I think we need to all identify and look at. That they are taking things that may have been innocuous, that may have been a non-thing, that may not have been an issue, and they are now turning it into more than what it was. And as a result, it's bad for the lawsuit, right? And in a court of law, you need more than just feels, essentially, when it comes to these things. When it comes to public opinion, though, they've done what they've done, and it's trashed the public opinion to Activision, Blizzard, and Activision Publishing. But as for the legal side of things, I have a feeling, outside of maybe pay, there may not be a whole lot done. Maybe Blizzard will get their act together, especially with the lackluster of content and other stuff, and get that fixed. But as for that, outside of that and pay, they're probably not going to have a whole lot other things happen to them, unfortunately. And I guess those are my current thoughts. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm not going to fault you if you completely hate Blizzard at this point, or if you're going to staunchly defend them. I really don't care one way or the other. You do you, to be totally honest. But at the same time, as much as I want to vilify Blizzard, some of the things are a bit, they're not as they seem, and they need to be recognized as such.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.